Have you ever wondered how your credit card details stay safe when you shop online? Or how your private messages remain? Well, private? The answer lies in a revolutionary idea born in the 1970s, a code that became the silent guardian of our digital world. Back in the early days of computer networks, the internet was like a town square where everyone could overhear your conversation. Data traveled in the open, completely unprotected. If you sent a message, anyone could intercept it and read it. Privacy was a luxury we hadn't yet figured out how to build. In this wide-open digital frontier, a critical problem emerged. How do you keep a secret in a world where everything can be copied perfectly and instantly? This was the puzzle that captivated three researchers at MIT, Ron Rivest, Adi Shamir, and Leonard Adelman. They weren't trying to build a better physical lock, they were trying to invent a digital one. But their lock had a seemingly impossible requirement. Imagine sending a locked box to a friend, but keeping the only key. How could they open it? This paradox led them to a question that would change everything. How do you encrypt the entire world without ever having to secretly share a key? The solution they devised was nothing short of brilliant, and it turned centuries of cryptography on its head. For thousands of years, encryption relied on a shared secret. If I wanted to send you a coded message, we both needed the same key to lock and unlock it. But sharing that key was always the weakest link. If it was stolen, the entire system collapsed. Rivest, Shamir, and Adelman, or RSA as they would come to be known, proposed a radical new system, public key cryptography. It works with two keys, not one. There's a public key, which you can share with anyone. Think of it as an open padlock. Anyone can use your public key to snap this padlock shut on a message, locking it securely. But here's the magic. Only you have the corresponding private key, the one key in the entire world that can unlock it. You can shout your public key from the rooftops, post it on a billboard. It doesn't matter. No one can use it to decrypt your messages. They can only use it to encrypt them for you. It's like having a personal secure mailbox with a slot open to the public. Anyone can drop a letter in, but only you have the key to open the box and read what's inside. But what makes this digital lock so strong? The secret lies in a simple mathematical principle that's incredibly difficult to reverse: multiplication. It's easy to take two huge prime numbers and multiply them together. Even a basic calculator can do it in a fraction of a second. But if you're only given the result of that multiplication, trying to figure out the original two prime numbers, a process called factoring, is astonishingly hard. For a computer, trying to factor the massive numbers used in RSA encryption would take an impossible amount of time. We're talking trillions of years with today's technology. This mathematical asymmetry, where one direction is easy and the other is practically impossible, is the bedrock of RSA's security. They had created an unbreakable lock that anyone could use, but, for all practical purposes, no one could crack. This one idea didn't just stay in a lab, it went on to build the very foundation of trust on the internet. See that little padlock icon next to the URL in your browser? That's HTTPS, and it's often powered by RSA. It ensures that the connection between you and your bank, your email provider, or your favorite online store is secure. Every time you log into a website, send a secure email, or make a digital payment, you are likely relying on the principles of public key cryptography that RSA pioneered. It's the code that authenticates websites, proving they are who they claim to be, and not imposters trying to steal your data. It protects our passwords, our financial transactions, and our sensitive government communications. A single mathematical idea, born from a thought experiment, now holds together the digital safety of billions of people. But with great power comes great debate. The very strength of RSA encryption has created a profound tension between privacy and security. On one hand, strong encryption empowers individuals. It protects journalists, activists, and ordinary citizens from surveillance, allowing for free expression and the exchange of ideas without fear. It's a tool for liberty. On the other hand, governments and law enforcement agencies argue that unbreakable encryption can shield criminals and terrorists, making it impossible to investigate threats and prevent harm. This has led to intense debates over backdoors, secret ways for authorities to bypass encryption. Tech companies and privacy advocates argue that a backdoor for the good guys is inevitably a backdoor for the bad guys too. A deliberately weakened lock can't be trusted to protect anyone. So, who has the right to read your data? Should our digital secrets be absolute, or should there be a limit? The ethics of encryption force us to confront fundamental questions about power, freedom, and control in the digital age. Does strong encryption truly empower the individual, or does it create new, unforeseen risks by giving everyone a place to hide? The story of RSA isn't over. The digital world is constantly evolving, and so are the threats against it. On the horizon looms a new kind of computer, one that could shatter the mathematical foundation of RSA. I'm talking about quantum computing. A powerful quantum computer, if it's ever built, wouldn't need trillions of years to factor large numbers. It could theoretically do it in minutes or hours, rendering RSA and much of our current cryptography obsolete overnight. The lock that has protected the internet for decades could suddenly be broken. This has triggered a new global race among cryptographers. They are working tirelessly to develop Bortonchi post-quantum, or quantum-resistant encryption algorithms, new kinds of digital locks that can withstand attacks from both classical and quantum computers. The goal is to future-proof our digital infrastructure before the threat becomes a reality. The code that protects the internet today was a revolutionary breakthrough, but it may need to be completely reinvented for the world of tomorrow. The endless cat-and-mouse game between codemakers and codebreakers continues, reminding us that in the digital realm, security is not a destination, but a perpetual journey. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the code that secures our world. If you found this interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories from the hidden corners of technology. See you in the next one.